Yeah, so I wanted to record this video outside, but it's been snowing and it's cold in the Vermont spring. So here I am in my Vermont place and all alone for reasons I will not get into, but it has to do with my work schedule and where I'm going, traveling next. But I'm lonely, so I'm going to record a video and I wanted to do it outside, but I couldn't. All right, my friends. So here we go. Enjoy. What's up, my Canadian cousins? How are you guys? I'm back again. I'm on a roll. I guess I feel motivated. So listen, this video is not going to appeal to a wide audience. This is a Rush related video. Yes, Rush is one of Canada's most iconic contributions to rock, and especially classic rock, that there has ever been. I have loved this band since I was a little kid, and some of you know that I play the drums. I played some drums for you on this channel here and there. I played a drum part to Tragically Hip song at one point. I am no Neil Peart. Nobody is. Right? He's the professor. He is one of my very early influences. If you look at my drum kit, I'm going to show you a picture. Some of you have seen this before, but this is my drum kit. And the two people behind that kit are Neil and Keith Moon. They were two of my earliest influences and why I started playing the drums between the two of them. As Geddy Lee said recently when they announced that Rush was coming back, and they were going to tour again with Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee, they said, Geddy said, how do you replace the irreplaceable? You don't. You can't. How do you continue on as a band without Neil Peart? Well, you're never going to be the same Rush that you were before. You just aren't. You're going to be something different. And you can tour and you can play your catalog of music with a different drummer, but who is that going to be? I think they intuitively understood that that person shouldn't be somebody who you knew could play that music like Dave Portnoy or some other drummers that, love Rush and love Neil and have played that stuff from time to time. I think you had to go in a completely different direction because you're not trying to replace the irreplaceable. You're trying to put somebody else in there who could honor the music and honor Neil's contribution and can play his parts, but also add something new of her own. And so they chose German drummer Anika Nilles. And I did not, as a drummer, and I watch a lot of YouTube drumming, I do, jealously, wishing I could have the time to practice and have the time to be like that, but I did not know who Anika Nilles was, but then I started watching some of her stuff, and she is amazing. She's so good. She plays this sort of jazz fusion sort of drumming. She's just amazing. But I've also seen that there are a lot of drummers who can emulate or, copy Neil's drumming because they're good drummers and they're proficient. There are the people who start, and then there are people who stand on the shoulder of giants, and there are people who have stood on the shoulder of this giant Neil Peart, and they've played his music and his drumming style pretty proficiently. So it's not true that nobody can play it. But I think Geddy and Alex, they just didn't want a karaoke Neil Peart drummer. They wanted somebody who could infuse her own style and be somebody who would, fit in with the band and not replace Neil, but be a different version of Rush with her who could also honor Neil and play his stuff sufficiently well enough that you would recognize the songs as Neil, but you would also understand that this is a new version of Rush that's touring, that these guys have created a body of music that, while they are sad and mourn the loss of their, integral part of that trio, want to keep going. These guys have been friends, Neil and Alex since they were in, I think, junior high school. Who are we to judge them? Who are we to say that they shouldn't want to play? So yeah, I'm like so excited. And I've been excited ever since they announced that they were going back on tour and that they chose this German drummer, Anika Nilles. I've been looking at her catalog and I've been so impressed by her. And I'm just so excited. I have tickets to Madison Square Garden in July. My wife got them for me. I love her for it. She's not the biggest Rush fan. She doesn't love Geddy's voice, but I'm hoping that when she goes to this concert that she will sort of change her mind. She dragged me to 2 Dave Matthews concerts, and I don't love his voice, but I had fun. And I think she will, because she is a musician herself, playing the piano, will love this version of Rush. And I do really believe that. So we're going to watch this video of Anika Nilles playing with Rush, with Geddy, with Alex at the Juno Awards. But it's interesting to me because they played a song, the very first song off the very first album of Rush, which, you know, I think a lot of you are going to watch this video know that this is not a Neil song. This is a John Rutsey song. Rutsey was a very good drummer. I think he had to quit the band because of health issues. He had diabetes and whatever. It's interesting to me that they chose this. Some people speculate that they chose it because they thought Anika wasn't, up to the task of Neil's drumming for their debut. I don't believe that for a second. I think they chose it because it was their introduction to Rush coming into this to say we're back and we're going to start at the beginning. Because if they didn't have confidence in what Anika could do with Neil's drumming, they wouldn't be doing this. And I believe that wholeheartedly, 100%. So without further ado, let's go. Nice triplets on the floor tones. Yeah, Geddy. Damn. Look at her. Oh, yeah. All right, I hate to do this. I have to pause. Why? Because copyright infringement. I have to have fair use. I have to make this educational. Yeah, man. Like seeing Alex and Geddy being so sharp on their instruments, on the guitar and the bass. They haven't missed a step, but I know it was probably hard for them to get back to that. Their hands are older, they're out of shape, and they have to get back to it. I know, like, when I don't play the drums for a while, like, I'm sloppy at first. You get rusty. It's been 10 years. This is amazing. I was worried about Geddy's voice because his voice was not, he sings at a high register. How long can you sustain that? He's in his early 70s. even in 2013 when they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, his voice was, not quite what it used to be when he was younger, but it's not really different. It hasn't deteriorated, and I know he's worked with a voice coach. It's okay. It's okay. What is it? What it was in the 80s and 90s? No, but it's okay. It's sufficient. Oh man, I love it. I'm actually like pleasantly surprised about Getty's voice. It's not as bad as I thought it was, and you know what? You just have to like acknowledge it is what it is. All right, let's go. Oh man, Neil in the background. Love it. Her kid is sick. All right, so that, oh man, I stopped in her fill. I shouldn't have done that. Whew, she's good. I'm telling you as a drummer, she is good. Don't compare her to Neil. She's her own person. She is good. She is in the pocket. What she was doing on the cowbells was really cool because I was hearing more than just one cowbell. I think she was going between like a deeper and lighter cowbell, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, Getty. Rhythm section, loving each other. Oh my God, I love it. So. Man, Alex. So you're going to pause again. So Anika's, I could talk about Getty and Alex. I don't think I have to because they speak for themselves. I'm really more paying attention to her. So she's playing the ride, the bell and the ride cymbal. And she's playing just a tink, tink, tink. It's not Neil's tink, 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 tink that he usually does. But I would love to like actually kind of see Neil's version of the song because this wasn't his song, and I know they played this live, but she's just playing it. She's fire. She's fire. I'm loving the smiles. I'm loving the fun they're having. You might not like this. I like it, and I think most Rush fans are happy that they're back. Yes! Oh my God. I don't know. Was that like unexpected? Did people at the Junos not know they were on the bill and they were just like, oh my God, Rush? What? That is amazing. That is amazing, my friends. I will never get tired of that. I am going to watch that like 15 more times before I get to see Rush at Madison Square Garden in July. I am so excited. My wife got me that. I told you that before. And yeah, just so happy. It makes me so happy. In a world of garbage, it makes me so happy that this wonderful band is back. Man, they are amazing. But I am really, really, really stoked to watch her play a Neil original. You know, anything. Anything. I think she can do it. Here's why. Because as great a drummer as Neil was, and he was, people stand on their shoulders and they progress. There's a drummer who's got a YouTube following, social media following, El Estapario. He's from Spain. My God, I have never seen anyone do technical drumming like that guy. Nobody's come close. I haven't seen him play with a band, so I don't know like how he's add his drumming to, the musical composition of a song to make it good. Because not all drumming has to be as technical, as Neil was. Neil was special, but, Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones had swing. Ringo Starr always played appropriately to the music. They weren't technically great drummers, but they contributed to the songs and the music. Neil did in a way that made a 3-piece band into a 12-piece band. He was a percussionist. He wasn't just a drummer. He had played the glockenspiel, the xylophone, the wood, instruments, and and then he had the synthetic drums that had pre-recorded stuff on them. He was an innovator. He was a front man. He really was. He was a front. He made a rhythm instrument into a musical instrument and made it a front instrument. So, in that regard, he was so unique. As I started this video by saying, you can't replace the irreplaceable. And I don't think Rush is trying to do that. They've chosen somebody who could carry on the legacy and be her own person. And I'm excited, man. I'm so excited because I know we cannot turn back time. I know we can't resurrect Neil from the dead. So what are our options? Our options are to move forward, and they're to move forward with somebody who is going to infuse some energy into this band and infuse some life. And I implicitly trust Alex and Getty to have made the right decision. So I know this is going to work out. And that, my friends, was the first taste of it. And it makes me feel even more so that this is going to work out. And I'm so happy. Love and peace from actually Vermont. I'm in my Vermont house tonight. And I'll see you soon.